What's up, my wizards? It's Dev from Esper Mtg. We like the magic. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about standard Pauper. Everybody say yay. I know you guys usually like when I do these, 5 decks for $5 and standard Pauper content and stuff, because it's really good for play groups and just budget magic players, because, we're grown-ups, we got jobs and kids and stuff. I don't have kids, but I got a job, and it's to play magic. I can relate, I promise. Anyway, not everybody has all the money to play all the standards, so you usually are into the standard Pauper content, and now that there's an event on Arena that I thought would last longer than just like 3 days, I get to show you these decks in action for the first time, so get hype. We're actually going to show like 4 decks off today, possibly over the course of a couple of videos. I'll split it up, but still, I get to play Magic all day, and that's good for me, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it too, and you'll actually get to see these all-commons decks in action. I don't usually get to do that, so we'll start off with a 4-power Pauper deck, we're calling it, but it's really just mono green. The reason that it's dubbed Pauper 4-power is the presence of Crunch Wrangler, and that's more or less it, but we're also trying to find 4-power creatures to play in the deck. We got Bloom Hulk, Bristling Boar, Thundering Ceratops, Colossal Dreadmaw, all of our like big dumb creatures, and it's a green deck. Pretty much every card in the deck is a creature, save for a few, and those are the ones I want to talk about real quick. Giant Growth, I don't see this in enough green Pauper decks. I'm not sure how people understand. I hate to be pretentious like that, but like, I really don't know if, especially a lot of newer players, get like Giant Growth is ridiculous. Giant Growth is absolutely crazy. There's a lot of red removal in this format that saves you from pretty much all of it, almost no matter what creature you're targeting with it. But it's also going to save your creatures in combat, and this format is very much about combat interactions in the early, in the mid, and the late game, all the way through the game. And Giant Growth is great for that. It's also just a burn spell. It's a bolt on an unblocked creature. That could be really good in a deck like this too, especially in a format like Standard Pauper that's mostly about attacking anyway. So just let you know that real quick. Giant Growth is very important, but so is Rabid Bite. Rabid Bite is more or less the best piece of green removal we have access to. As far as I'm concerned, every single green deck in Standard Pauper should have 4 copies of Rabid Bite. Aside from that, you see 4 Llanowar Elves, that much is more or less obvious, and then a couple of copies of Druid of the Cow, which you'll often see 4 copies of in this deck. But I've gone a little bit more aggressive if we miss our Llanowar Elves on turn 1 with Crunch Wrangler. Now, I have gotten Crunch Wrangler to 8 power twice, at least twice that I can remember. But this thing routinely gets to 4 power, and that's a great rate for a 2-drop. There just isn't another 2-drop in Standard Pauper that gets to 4 power like Crunch Wrangler can, except for maybe the Proliferation Druid. That stupid thing. But Crunch Wrangler, to me, is a little bit better in a lot of ways, because it can get so much bigger over the course of a game than most other 2-drops in this format, and it's kind of the whole reason I wanted to build this deck in the first place, and I get to say Crunch a lot, so that's also very fun for me. But the spiciest card in the deck is this Crushing Canopy, just 1 copy of Crushing Canopy. Now, a couple things you need to know about Standard Pauper if you're just getting involved right now. First of all, lots of flying creatures. Almost every deck, besides a lot of the mono green ones, will carry flying creatures, because flying is at such a premium in the Pauper format. Again, it's a format about combat, so flying is very important. It's just a straight up instant speed 3-mana removal spell against some of the most important creatures in Pauper, but it's also a removal spell against the most important enchantment in Pauper, which is Ill-Gotten Inheritance. It's not everywhere, but you will face Ill-Gotten Inheritance like 1 out of 5 games at the very least, about 20% of the time, where you might not have a flying creature to nail, but it's really important that you're able to kill that Ill-Gotten Inheritance, because it's a lot of decks, win condition in this format. So Crushing Canopy looks a little too spicy for its own good, but it's got a huge spread of options against a lot of decks that'll usually find a target. Aside from that, though, I do want to point out, aside from all our big beaters, I've already kind of pointed these out here, like Bloom Hulk, it doesn't matter that we're only really proliferating Crunch Wrangler. It doesn't matter. 4 mana 4/4/4 is good enough. And if you do have a Crunch Wrangler, it actually proliferates twice, like basically immediately. It gets +1/+1 counter because Bloom Hulk came into play, and then it gets +1/+1 counter from the proliferate on Bloom Hulk. So you can get Crunch Wrangler really big if you follow it in a couple of turns into Bloom Hulk. Aside from that, though, Vivian's Grizzly, all-star card in the deck. This is another card that I think might be one of the most important cards in Standard Pauper for green, and whole decks can be built around it. I've messed around with an Abzan deck that was basically based around Vivian's Grizzly, played nothing but creatures. I'm not sure about that deck. I feel like it needs some tweaks, a little bit more actual removal, less bodies and stuff, but Vivian's Grizzly really makes you want to build a deck that's literally nothing but creatures. But even in this deck, even though we've got, 8 spells, that are non-creature, Vivian's Grizzly is still such an important card advantage piece that you absolutely have to have it, especially considering games tend to go pretty late in Standard Pauper, usually. And Vivian's Grizzly just provides this repeatable card advantage, gives you something to do with your mana when you draw land for the turn. It's just an invaluable card, and it's one of the most important cards in the deck by far. So even though it's not 4 power for Crunch Wrangler, it's still totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. And I know there's been a lot of like jokes on Twitter the last few days, like, oh, why is Vivian's Grizzly's text basically read like, look at target land on top of your library? And I've experienced that a few times too, but when this does get you value, it's no joke at all. So let's go ahead and go into the games, see how we do. And we're back up against Pandada, good name here, and I'm pretty sure this is a fine opening hand. We'll see what we can do with it here. Need to draw a couple of lands, but we should. Actually, in the interim between games here, I did lose 1 to Mana Screw, 2 lands in 5 turns, so you should know that. You should be privy to that information. We did not get a land on turn 2, but we already have 2 lands. We'll drop a Crunch Wrangler and hope to draw more lands here. Also, we need to hope our Crunch Wrangler doesn't get shocked or something here. That'd be nice. Alright, black-red coming in with Fanatical Firebrand. Spewer hits both players. I wonder if they're just going to kill Wrangler here. Or if they'll try to get in. They do neither. Okay. So we draw another Rabid Bite, which is not great. I really would have liked to land here, but I guess more removal's good. We just need creatures to cast our removal. So what we're going to do is try and kill the Spewer and see if he kills Crunch Wrangler with Fanatical Firebrand. He does not. Okay. So that's cool. We will, we will no attacks. See what the opponent's got in store. We're up against some sort of black-red aggro. See a lot of red aggro. Not a ton of black-red. Let's see. Goblin Instigator comes down. Getting the board nice and wide here. We will no blocks. Take our damage. Point's not too bad. Bloom Hulk, man, when we get these lands here, it's gonna be on, y'all. Like the Kong of Donkey fame. Ba-ba! That Fanatical Firebrand, we had to Rabid Bite it away. We didn't have to, but I went ahead and did it. A lot of these red-based aggro decks don't play a bunch of creatures that get above, more than a couple of toughness. Doom Dissenter comes down, and they're gonna get in with a couple of gobos here, I would imagine. Yep. We will no blocks another time here. Go down to 16, which is still a pretty comfortable life total. We got another land, but we still need one more to really do anything. But if we can get there, we can start doing some very serious things, which is cool. So, do I want to like waste this Rabid Bite on a 1/1? I don't think so. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. So we'll tell our opponent to go, staring down this board of tokens. Doom Dissenter coming down. We will take our bunch of damage here. Again, we're only at 13. We did get another forest. Bloom Hulkin. Looking good. We will submit 1. So Crunch Wrangler becomes a 4/3. And then we will all attack. I know opponent's just going to get a 2/2 out of this, but it should be worth it in the long run. Let's see. Opponent goes. Draws. Opponent still has 5 cards, 4 cards now if they drop a land. Here comes a Rafter Demon. Don't see that very often. Getting in with everything. Everything? Everything. We're going to go down to 10 here. If all goes well, it should. They're tapped out. Yeah, we're at 10. And Pandada doesn't know what's coming. Should we? It's like if I Bristling Boar, Crunch becomes a 5/4. I get in for 9, but I don't really. I mean, Bloom Hulk will die to Rafter Demon if I try to get in. So yeah, let's go ahead and Rabid Bite this Demo. And get in with the crunch. Opponent at 12, we're at 10. Opponent draws for turn. 4 cards in hand. Tries to get in on attacks here. Sniff out some kind of, I wonder if they have Skewer the Critics. I wonder if that's what it is. Should we just go? Let's see. If we go to 7, then we'll go to 4 after Skewer. Probably worth doing this. That'll get a Skewer out of their hand. Especially if you draw a card next turn, that'll be wonderful. Oh, a Sure Strike! Ah, ha, ha! Okay, neat. That was a big play for opponent. I did not sniff that out. Bristling Boar. Coming down, making Crunch a 5-4. I don't think we can afford to attack right now. As much as I'd like to. Opponent drops Cinder Baron's Goblin Assailant. 2 mana 2/2, vanilla guy. Tries to get in with just Doom Dissenter. So, what I'm going to do is double block. Just to make sure that Doom Dissenter dies. Alright, no crazy stuff. Colossal Dreadmaw is our draw this turn. So we will just next. No attacks. In turn. And kind of settle in here. Once we get our 5th land, then we can really start going over the top of our opponent, but it might take a second. Alright. Interesting roustabout. Opponent has 2 left in hand and then 2 mana open. They have access to Sure Strike here again, because when you see 1 Sure Strike, you can bet there probably are more. Alright. Moves to combat. We will. Excuse me. Go ahead and take it. I think I accidentally skipped past the blocking phase because I hit spacebar too many times. That might actually be like the worst misclick ever. It could be a punt. We are at 6 as we drop a Thundering Ceratoc here. Our opponent will stare at it. There we go. It's on the table. Ground Triangler up to a 6/5. Big dude here, but I still will not attack. Goblin Assailant comes down. Opponent has 1 card in hand, and they're going in, buddy. They're going in hard. Alright, so let's see. Bristling Boar. You block this. Well, no. I'll tell you what, B. You block that 2/2. It doesn't really matter, does it? You block that 1/1. And then you. Well, damn it. It's like this isn't even hard blocks to order. There we go. What the? I don't know why that was so difficult to order those blocks correctly. Oh, they have Skewer the Critics. Yeah, it's a shock. Thundering Ceratoc comes down. And let's see here, right? Let's see, 4, 8. Let's see, we'll get through 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, holy crap. Let's go ahead and win this game, I think. There it is. Alright, we're up against Nex for this game, and we're looking pretty good with this starting hand. It's a beautiful day right here. We'll see what opponent does. They get to go first. Drops a Plains. We've seen this before, right? Drop a Forest on turn 1. We did just get enough mana to get to this Bloom Hulk eventually, so things are looking up. Bishop Soldier comes down for opponent on turn 2. Playing against the same person? Crunch Wrangler. Say go. Opponent drops that 3rd Plains. And they are thinking hard. Alright, we're going to take that. No blocks. Here comes Hammer Skull. The card that we all fear in Pauper Mono White. Let's see here. So we will drop Forest, Crunch Wrangler, Lamawar Elves, and then we will no attacks. Opponent gets in here, taps a Wrangler. Let's see, 18. We'll go to 14. They'll go to 24, and I actually think that that's probably fine. Yeah, I just don't want to lose a Crunch Wrangler here. I was thinking about blocking the Hammer Skull, double blocking the Hammer Skull specifically and just killing it. But I'm not sure that that's right. We'll see if that play comes back to bite us in the butt. Oh my god, another Crown Triangler. Which is really tempting, just to throw that out there, but I don't think we should pull the trigger on that yet. It's like, we'll go down to 10 next turn at the very least, and we can probably sustain that, actually. Is that right? Because then we'll have a bunch of 4-power Wranglers if we cast Bloomholt next turn, but I guess we'll have a bunch of 4-power Wranglers one way or the other, won't we? It's like, I think that this is probably the right plan of action. Just go above everything. And go do it as quickly as possible. I think we can wait a turn, but I don't know that I want to. All these Bloomholt triggers going off. We will submit 2. And then, it's like I'm actually curious if I should all attack here. They'll go to 16, but then on the crackback we'll go to 10. Unless I guess we block. I'm going to go to 12. We'll be at 16. I think I'm going to wait. We're loaded here, but I don't think it's the right time to fire. So let's let the opponent go. 4 lands in play, 5 cards in hand. Pretty stacked grip over there still for the opponent. Here comes Bishop's Soldier. And they say go. Okay, so we are going to drop a land and then Colossal Dreadmaw and say deal with this. Alright, so at this point I can probably go attacking like fairly safely. I might lose a Wrangler here to a double block, but I'm actually okay with that. Because our 2-drop will have 2 for 1, and that seems good. Okay, they just take it. They're at 14. We're at 14 up now. So, opponent having a think. They're just going to try and get in here. Tapping down Dreadmaw. Alright, so I wonder what their combat trick is. If they, have one. They have to have one, right? So, I guess we'll see. Block. Tactical advantage. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Of all the combat tricks. Hey, moment of triumph. Huh. I guess they want to gain a little bit more life, do some more damage. That will put us at 8. Which is a relatively low life total. It's one we can still play past. We got more? Jeez, okay. We'll go to 6. They'll gain all the life. They're at 26. But that actually does not put us down. We're still ahead on board. So, what I'm going to do is drop this Thundering Ceratok. We'll do 18 damage this turn. If we wanted to. Opponent down to 1 card. I will get in with a Wrangler, I think. Let's make it 1 Wrangler. That was fun sequencing, right? That was bad. I should have gone ahead and played Crunch. But opponent scoops. Sorry, guy. Alright, up against Test Kitchen for this next game. And this is pretty much the hand I want to start every game with. Crunch Wrangler, Bloomhulk. But opponent starts on Island. Island? That's a mountain. Can I have a tumor? What's going on with me? Alright, so we get the 4th forest for Bloomhulk. I'm on top of my game, y'all. That is totally an island over there. Alright, opponent goes. Drops the mountain. We'll just start calling them islands from now on. Drops the island. We get another land. Forest into Crunch. Crunch. Crunch! Had to get away from the mic for that. Alright. Gets shocked. Just actually totally... We got another one. We got a reserve Crunch. Opponent drops the mountain. Gonna get some action in Fire Urchin. Okay. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. We're gonna go... Drop this here forest, you see? And then get another Crunch Ring. Uh-huh. How you like that? Well, Lawnmower Elves. Just because why not? We have no other choice but to say go. Let opponent get in with this Fire Urchin. See if this Wrangler gets shocked. Shivan fired. Close enough. Bop. Come on, Urchin. Get on maniacal rage on this Urchin. Gets in for 4. That's pretty good. They got themselves a 3-5 over there, y'all. That's pretty good. We got a 4-4. That will block the 3-5, but if they cast the spell, it will not. So keep that in mind. I've yet to see a Maniacal Rage. I've probably played 60 games of Pauper over the last few days. I've never seen Maniacal Rage. Or Radiating Lightning. Wow, okay. Cool, cool. Opponent doesn't know it, but they just got us off of a Crawch Wrangler. Or Crawch Wrangler. What is wrong with me? A Colossal Dreadmaw. Next turn. I'm just going to take this 4. Because I'm in awe of opponent's deck. Alright, so Bristling Boar. So there you go. Opponent still has 3 cards, so they can do some things here. We will double block. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm totally going to do it. See what our opponent, what kind of nasty garbage our opponent has. I hope it's like a Sure Strike again. That would be... Sure Strike, yes! Okay. Opponent got him. Nice. Oh boy, Colossal Dreadmaw. Oh man, that was so hot. Oh man, I am physically attracted to that play. Here comes the Havoc Devils. 4 mana, 4/3 with tramps. Forest, Vivian's Grizz. Into next. Into no attacks. Hit in turn. Oh, God, that was such a sexy play. Seriously. Viashino Pyromancer coming down. Taking us to 7. Taking us down the street. Hand in hand. All the way to 7 Town. And we will pass. Opponent getting in. Okay. So, or not. Like, wait a minute, I can't just do that this turn. Alright, so Vivian's Grizzly EOT here. Try to get some value going. Put target forest on bottom. We draw a forest. My God. Okay, so there you go. No attacks. Go on, opponent. I hope you get the spells you need, opponent. I really do. Rebel Belt. Oh, Rebel Belt Recluse. Really neat. I've never seen this particular mono red deck in Pauper. A lot of good action, like all points of the curve. Like, this is a really cool deck we're playing against. Alright, Vivian's Grizzly into turn. Good, come on! How many forests are going to be in this stupid thing? Alright, so opponent's tapped out, so we can just Rabid Bite. Well, actually, kind of a tough choice, isn't it? Let's go Rebel Belt Recluse. And say go. Well, do we? Let's go ahead and Grizzly. On our turn. Get that bristling bow. And no attacks. Trying to get like a Druid of the Cow or Crawch Wrangler or something there. See what opponent's got going on. They got 2 cards in hand. 5 lands. They got Say Go. Alright. So that's interesting. We should not be getting in right now. Bristling Boar. Maybe next turn we'll try and get in. Well, nah. It's not time. Let's be patient. Let's practice patience here. There's no reason to apply this pressure. I mean, it'd be nice to get rid of one of their guys, but I don't know. Especially like fully loaded like that. They're tapped out. That was probably a bad idea. So Vivian's Grizzly EOT. Try and get all the value we can out of this bear. Which is apparently none. At least we're scrying lands to the bottom. I'll take that. Cranch Wrangler. Put a little cranch in your ranch. Vivian's Grizz. God. Really demonstrating the Grizzly principle, which is what I've dubbed it. Okay, so I've got 3 blockers next turn if I get in with Dreadmaw, but again, they're fully loaded. They got untapped entirely and then 2 cards in their hand. So I'm sniffing out like a Sure Strike or something here, and if they have that, Fire Urchin just kills Dreadmaw and almost ends our game. So again, I know it seems like we've got a lot of advantage here, and we do. But I don't want to push it and lose that advantage with a dumb play. So here's a Goblin Instigator, widening their board a little bit, which is pretty good against us. Because they've had 2 cards in their hand forever here, and I feel like they're combat tricks. I feel like they're waiting to pull the trigger on a combat trick and just end our game with some blowout play. So I'm not going to walk into it. That's Vivian's Grizzly. It's a freaking forest. All the forests in our deck are on the bottom of our library at this point. Play the Druid of the Cow. Druid of the Moo. We know our opponent has Viashino Pyromancer, but I'm not sure how much burn they're playing aside from like Shock if they have it. We did see Shivan Fire earlier. Opponent says go, but they did have Shock. Okay. I thought so, just making sure. So let's Vivian's Grizzly. Thundering Serotok. Yes, please. Get that. Opponent shocks the Wrangler. Good play there, opponent. It's like I feel like I'm giving our opponent all the time in the world to draw burn and just kill us, you know? So I really want to get in. I really do. But let's say we have 4 blockers here. So blocks. I can still get in with 1, but it won't matter. We'll go to 6. I'd rather just keep the defenses up. See, Pauper's very much about combat. We don't have to worry about too many flyers, I don't think, so that's good. Because if we just keep our Grizzly out, we can just like out-advantage the opponent, like all game. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm going to go ahead and Bloom Hulk here. Grizzly. It's a dang forest. But that's cool. We can still bluff Shock. Or Shock. Good lord. I think it's the opponent. It's a parallax. The opponent is doing something to my mind here. We can still bluff Giant Growth, is what I meant to say. All right. So next, I am telling y'all, our opponent is just waiting to jump on us with a Sure Strike. That's gotta be what it is, right? It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Like at some point, I think I'm just gonna try to get in with like everything. But that's an impatient play right there, right? Opponent, get 2 Lava Runners. Thinks. Says go. Okay. So now we actually have a Giant Growth while we're bluffing Giant Growth. Which is probably what we need to get past Sure Strike, honestly. So let's Vivian's Grizzly. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Alright. Next. Let's get in. Let's finally get in. With a couple of big boys here. See what the opponent does. Because they almost certainly have the combat trick. Alright, Havoc Devils blocks Colossal Dreadmaw. Pyromancer on Dreadmaw. We will Giant Growth the Dreadmaw. Alright. Cool. Cool. We are at 7 up now. We will end turn. Okay. Good. Good. Pass it. Pass it. I wonder if they will attack. They won't. Okay, so Vivian's Grizzly. We'll finally get action. Really, really, really good action, actually. So let's go ahead. Ceratok. And oh boy, I think we may have just turned the corner on it, y'all. I think we may have done it. Okay, so they have 4 blockers in all. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. So, I mean, they basically have to block everything. And, yeah, even if we have to block like Fire Archer next turn, we'll take 4 damage. Maybe they'll have... Okay, so what we'll do is we'll all attack, except for Druid of the Cowl. And... yeah. Yep. Even if they somehow survive this combat set, we just drop Vivian's Grizzly, we got 2 blockers, we're totally fine. I think we're good, y'all. Bop, bop, bop. Good game. Seriously good game, opponent. Nicely done, Parallax. Alright, y'all, second deck of the day here. We're looking at a really, really spicy one. This is Grixis, Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Like I said earlier, Ill-Gotten Inheritance is a very important card in Pauper. And usually you'll see like mono black Ill-Gotten Inheritance, and sometimes it's a control deck with a bunch of removal spells, and then sometimes it's like an aggro deck with creatures that draw cards and stuff like Burglar Rat too, just value creatures that try to like get a little aggro in or block your guys, no matter depending on what you're playing against. And then just drop Ill-Gotten Inheritance, kind of finish the game off that way, because there's not a lot of main deck enchantment removal in this format, like whatsoever. So Ill-Gotten Inheritance is actually kind of an all-star. You can build an entire deck around it, and instead of going mono black, which yes is a pretty consistent deck, I've decided to go Grixis here, and this is actually a very, very good list that I have not lost much with. Aside from like bad starts and like really fast aggro starts against me, this has been a very solid deck. So just kind of taking you through it here real quick. You've got your obvious 4 copies of Inheritance, but the rest of it is mostly creature removal. You may notice, we've got a few card draw elements. Tamiyo's Epiphany, another just extreme card in this format. Tamiyo's Epiphany is very, very good if you're looking for a card draw piece, but there's also Opt. Just a couple of copies of this, so we don't have to go all the way on it. I want to play a lot of lands in this deck, and it seems like Opt would lower the land count. But I want to hit the drops, and I want to get the correct colors in this deck, so I wanted to go a higher land count. That means fewer Ops, because it's not the worst card in the deck or anything. I don't mean to imply that, but I'd rather have an extra land or 2 than an extra Opt or 2 in this deck. That said, the rest of it, again, mostly removal. Shock for small creatures, Moment of Craving for small creatures, a little bit of life gain to keep us in the game. Chandra's Pyrohelix can sometimes be, a 2-for-1 against these small 1 toughness creatures. There's a lot of them in this format. Jai's Greeting is a brutal removal spell. The Scry 1 is very important to get our lands and other options, answers that we need. Mephitic Vapors, insane against the tokens decks in the format. Mono white tokens, green white tokens, mono red tokens even, Saprolings. There's just a bunch of different tokens decks in the Pauper format right now. Obnixilis Cruelty, one of the best removal spells that we have access to, period. And Lich's Caress, which is another one of the best removal spells we have access to. And it's kind of like a Vraska's Contempt in this format, except it's sorcery speed. We don't have to worry about planeswalkers or anything, but the destroy a creature and gain life is incredibly important here. Aside from that, Sailor Remains pretty much the only other card in the main deck, and this is for blocking and, of course, making sure that we can get the right colors that we need, and ramp a little bit, too. So that is basically the deck, y'all. Let's go ahead and get some games. Alright, so we're up against Random Recipe for this one, and this hand's looking pretty decent to me. I wish we had a little bit more early game action, but Vapors to cover the wide boards, and, Cruelty to cover the tall boards. I think we can do it, so... I really like your name, Random Recipe. That's awesome. Leads on Swamp into... Ooh, Vicious Rumors. Neat. Okay. Whew. Alright. Vapors. I'll probably need it to kill a Burglar Rat next turn. If I had to guess. Alright, Gateway Plaza. We'll pay the 1. Say go. Oh, it's a Rat Colony deck. Oh my god, I hate Rat Colony so much. I should have kept the Mephitic Vapors. That was a terrible dump, now that I know that. Ugh, okay. We'll go with Sailor Amines here. Man. Oh, I hate Rat Colony so much. They banned Persistent Petitioners, but they didn't ban Rat Colony. Go figure. Let's see. Rat Colony, who could have guessed? The rats! Opponent gonna Skullduggery here, if I had to guess. Fungal Infect. That or, you're right, I don't know why. But you will see Skullduggery in these decks a lot. I should have guessed Fungal Infection first, though. Alright, so... it's Evolving Wilds. I'll go ahead and pop it. For a black source. Say go. Oh, Rat Colony. God, if I'd have known it was Rat Colony! Oh, jeez. Mephitic Vapors would just crush right now. Can you imagine? I hope we draw it. Next turn. How sweet would that be? Alright, so let's Cruelty one of these attacking rats. You dirty rats. Opponent still gets in, though. We're at 14. Draw Jaya's Greeting. And at this point, we gotta start making the hard decisions. Let's go ahead and Lynch's Caress one of these. Opponent with the Vicious Rumors. Oh my god. I have never seen Vicious Rumors in a Rat Colony deck. That's the first time that I've seen that. Yeah, I should have kept the removal. That was stupid. Well, I got a good game you coming up here soon, opponent. Jeez, Rat Colony. Actually, if you drop a Rat Colony, it's game. So, okay, you didn't. But it's still game. I mean, we're at 2. Was it a good game? Was it? It was. It was. You got to give Rat Colony its due. It's a good deck. We're in here against T-Blaze 10 Sun, so let's keep this 7. Let's see what T-Blaze does. They're going to keep their top card, lead on Island, after they mulligan to 6 there, and we'll drop an Evolving Wilds. I'll even pop it. I'm a boss. Let's see here. I will actually pop 4. They're going to opt in response. I gotta get a blue source, I think. Yeah, let's do it. It's the only thing we don't have at the moment. Opponent gonna Shimmer. Huh, okay. Shimmer possibility on turn 2. And then we will Evo Wilds. Go ahead and pop that. Get a black source. Probably should have gotten a red source, but I don't think it matters too much here in the early going. It's like I want Jaya's Greeting online before Moment of Craving, I think, but I think it should be okay. Pass, pass. My turn? Yeah, okay, so I'll go ahead and opt. Try and set up this opener a little better. Don't need the Guild Gate per se, so let's grab that to the bottom. Got a Lich's Caress. Chandra's Pyrohelix. Drag it onto the battlefield. Just do it. Doesn't want to cooperate. Alright. So our opponent was 6 and 3 lands. Now they dropped a mountain. Okay, so it's blue-red. Shimmer of Possibility. You gotta wonder what they're looking for. I wonder if we're playing against Grixis Inheritance right now. Like, is that the card you're looking for? Huh. Okay. I considered Shimmer over Epiphany, but I think Epiphany is just the better card. Especially in a slower format like Pauper, standard Pauper specifically. So we will Sailor Amines, see if that gets Essence scattered. It might. Syncope. Alright. Demir Guildgate. It's not often in Pauper that you come up against a dedicated control deck. In standard Pauper, at least. So, we're in Pauper at large. Alright, we got Ill-Gotten Inheritance, but our opponent has shields up, so I'm going to try and go for it. That makes perfect sense, right? Make them have this counterspell, and I'm sure they do. They don't? Okay. Are they going to blink of an eye? Going to get blink of an eye again? Yes, we are. Oh, what a day. Alright. Opponent draws the card from blink. Drops the planes. Oh, it's Jeskai. Okay. Healer's Hawk. Omen Speaker. Starts looking really good for the opponent. Scry one top, one bottom there. So they got a good card on top. We get an opt. I guess if they're just going to syncopate it or something, that's fine, because we have an open mana after we cast it, so... Maybe they have a negate up online or something. I guess we'll see. I'd rather cast this. I don't want to take damage, but if they have negate, then I'd rather bait it, right? Like, I think do I want to bait the negate? I think that's probably the right idea. They know we have Iggy, though. Like, they'll just save negate for Iggy anyway, so... I want to see if they have it. So if I let them untap, they're just going to have even more mana to negate Ill-Gotten Inheritance. So let's give it a shot here, see what happens. Maybe they have Quench. Although I imagine if they had a counterspell, they would have played it when they blinked, you know? But maybe they've drawn one. Yeah, Syncopate. We will... Well, I guess we'll pay the mana. It's weird. Huh. Alright, opponent gets in. We're at 18. They're at 21. They have 3 in hand and 5 lands. They're going to blink of an eye. The Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Woof. Alright. Drop a plains. At this point, I'm just going to play Ill-Gotten Inheritance. We keep getting time walked here. There's an opt. I thought it was control, but it's like a weird mono blue tempo variant. Plays Jeskai. I don't know how to really... I mean, it's a tempo deck. It's a tempo deck. Alright, so go on ahead, opponent. Huh. Goes with dub here. That's not the best thing ever. I'll opt in response. Just to tap out completely. I have plenty of removal, right, at this juncture. Alright, we get an Epiphany. We're going to take 4 here, but I'm actually more or less completely fine with that. We're at 14. At 15, really, after the Ill-Gotten Inheritance trigger. Let's go ahead and play this mountain. Now, at this point... let's save the Caress for when we really need it. Which might be after they counter the spell. No? Okay. Another shock! Alright. I'm going to regret putting this removal on bottom. You just mark my words. But I just want more ill-gotten inheritances. Excuse me. Should I Epiphany? Yeah. Let's do that. I need these lands. I don't really need any of this, honestly. Although it's like, I'm always inclined to keep Caress. I sure do have a lot of removal, though. Probably the better move to keep it. Yeah. It's a little safe, but that's okay. We got another Epiphany here. Let's just tell opponent to go, see what they do. Get in with Omen Speaker. Plays the land, says go. Opponent has 1 card in hand again. We draw shock. I just can't get rid of all this removal. So what we're going to do is Epiphany. Put most of this on the bottom. I'll keep the Sailor. Probably play it. There's no Gotten Inheritance. That's going to be nice. Alright, Sailor means... gets down. We will wave it on through there, partner. Let's see what our opponent does. T-Blaze. T-Blaze? T-Blaze. I'm just going to say T-Blaze. That's the best way to say that. Frenzied Rage on their Omen speaker. Nice. Alright. Got a 3-4 speaker at this point. We're at 12, but it's our turn. Back up to 13. Another real god. Okay, so we can do this. We can easily do this. Let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. So... yeah, I think it's worth 2 for wanting myself here. I think it is. Okay, so... Greetings, Earthlings. Mountain. Shock, Omen Speaker. And pray this isn't a counterspell in their hand. It isn't. All attack. In with the Sailor means opponent down to their starting life total. We did it, fam. Opponent goes. Drops the planes. They still have 1 card. And we get 2 inheritance triggers. Things are looking really, really good now. Let's try and drop this 3rd one. We get it. Woof. Alright, and then, just for funsies, let's Epiphany to put the game away. Hopefully. I don't need any of this. Any of this at all. Really, I don't need anything for time being. I'll go ahead and drop a Guildgate. Yeah. Get in. Alright, so we've turned the tables here. We've really withstood the onslaught of tempo and auras and small flying guys and such. Opponent has all their lands. Yeah, and they scoop. Sorry, T-Blaze. A good game, though. Alright, got another standard Pauper deck to show you here. This is my Izzet spells, and people build this deck very differently. There are a bunch of creatures I am not playing in this deck. Fire Urchin, I'm not playing Piston Fist Cyclops. I'm mostly focusing on really low-to-the-ground stuff. The highest CMC thing we're playing is the 4 copies of Spellgorger, but I didn't go all the way and play Piston Fist or Thunder Drake for that matter. I'm trying to keep things really, really low to the ground and try to tempo people out. You know, we got Dive Down, we've got Callous Dismissal in here for tempo, and then your burn spells, you know, things like Shock. We've got Skewer the Critics in here, and then the only other real things that matter are like Sky Theater Strix, Get to Lava Runner. I mean, it's a fairly cut and dried deck here that just plays, you know, some removal, Jaya's Greetings in there too. And just tries to tempo the opponent out. I mean, not much to say to it. It's a lot harder to do than it is to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into the games. Alright, everybody, we are in for the first game. Not loving this opening hand, but I'll take it. It's got some early protection against Dope Dubs R32 with the Skyline. That's cool. Looking nice as Watley up there. Let's see what Dope Dubs does to get this started off here. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. We'll get there. Together. We're on a journey. Down the path. Okay, leads on Cinder Barons. Says go. We'll drop Mountain. Pass it on over. See what kind of work they're doing on turn 2. The Double D, Dope Dubs R32. This is my favorite, maybe my favorite name I've ever seen. Got a Doom Dissenter. Pass. I thought, do we do them the favor of shocking that right now? Nah, let's not. Let's go ahead and play Mountain. Give our opponent as little information as possible here. And say go. Dope Dubs, piecing it together. Looking through their options. Drops a Swamp. Another Doom Dissenter. That's cool. Pass it. Really processing the attack step here. Just want to make sure they get it right. You know, I mean, do they want to swing? Is that what they want to do? Is it, though? Is it? Is it? Our opponent might be having connection problems or something. I wonder if that's what's going on. We'll see if they get Hourglass here in a moment. Huh. They definitely have the advantage. You should press it, opponent. You should do that. There we go. We did it. All right. You can have it. You can have it, opponent. It's fine. It's cool. I'll just let you have it. And then we'll play an island. And I know it sounds crazy, right? But we'll say go. We'll end the turn. I want to have Dive Down online when we play this Spellgorger. So opponent processing. They're thinking it over. Like, what are they doing over there? Is what they're thinking at this point. I haven't played a single thing. Of course, opponent just did this to me the other game, the Jeskai matchup. So who knows how this is going to end? But it's starting fun. It's starting fun. I wonder how what they're processing. Like what's their sequence here? All right, rat. Ooh, it's a rat colony deck. Okay. Okay. Pass. Gets in. Go ahead and shock this rat colony. Freaking rat colony, man. Alright, our turn. Sky Theater Strix. Which might actually be... Nah, let's Spellgorger here. Oh. Island. Go. End turn. Alright, so our opponent's staring down a Spellgorger here. If they try to attack with Doom Descenders, I'm just going to let them get in. The thing about this deck is you just protect your creatures as much as you possibly can at all times. Like next turn we can play Strix, and we have Dive Down and Shock online, perhaps. We'll see what goes on. Opponent with a mountain. Rat colony? Never saw that coming. Rat colony. They must be having connection issues, because like otherwise you just play them. Right? So while opponent's internet gets together, I'm going to assume that's what's happening. But they are playing rat colony. They are doing that, so they might be the kind of people that are just like that annoying, you know? Alright, so pass. Block, because they're tapped out. We can do that. Then pass it up. Well, I fixed my microphone here. Jeez, okay. Figured it out. We got there together. Alright, resolve. Our turn. We got another Strix. That's interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and play that Strix. Now, the question is, do we do stuff while the opponent is tapped out? So I can go ahead and shock a rat colony, right? And that'll end well. But I probably shouldn't. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. I wonder if our opponent has fungal infection, skullduggery, something like that. They're processing. If they get in with everything, or just the rat colonies at least, we can do something about that. If not, then just at the end of turn we can shock a rat colony. Soul salvage. Getting back stuff. Alright, so they did get in with everything. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's shock a colony. Shock a con. Then... Huh. Pass it over. Well, oh my god, they scoop. Really? Really? You could have won. Good game, though. Good game. Alright, game 2 up against Surtap in here. And this is a pretty decent hand. Start with that. Seems fine. Opponent leads on forest with no Monorails. That's nice. We'll go Mountain. Lava Runner. Say go. our opponent's like, ugh, mono red. It's not that. Okay. And I'm like, ugh, tokens. So, we're in the same boat, buddy. Alright, so now the question is, let's play Mountain. Let's attack. Or do we? Probably should have dismissaled first. Like, drop the island and dismissal. That's fine. Huh. I thought we might get double blocked there. Alright. So, at this point, we Lava Runner. Do we skewer yet? It's like we can, but do we, right? Nah, we'll save that. We'll save that. Oh, so it's green-white tokens. Alright. Yavimaya Sapherd. All of these Saprolings and no Thallid Omnivore. That's so sad. Alright, so there we go. I am a little worried about Luminous Bonds if we cast the Spellgorger. To be honest, TBH. So, what we're going to do is greeting this Sap Herd while they're tapped out. Not like it matters, but still. I'll take our 4th land. And I'll opt. Draw that land. Get in. With 2/2 Lava Runners. They'll take it. Okay. See what our opponent's got going on. Impassioned Orator. That we do not like that card. At all. We're getting triple get in here. We are going... Let's see. How do we sequence this? Okay. So... let's all attack. Everything's in. We are going to Spellgorger. Drop a Mountain. Skewer the critics. This Orator. Get a 3/3 weird. And they scoop. Man, you could have done something. Good game. Alright, after a couple of not quite non-games, just games where the opponent scooped off of big plays that we made, we were up against Buricon Acne. I probably just butchered that, but I think I'll take this start even on just 2 lands. That's not great. But we'll take it. We'll go Mountain, get 2 Lava Runner. That's another thing I like about this deck is that it fakes people out into thinking they're playing against Mono Red. They go Mountain Lava Runner. I wonder if they're doing what we're doing. Alright, so Island, Dismissal. Get in. I think it was Swamp. Okay. Pyromancer. Another black-red deck. We're at 18. We are going to greeting this Pyromancer. Take that land all day. Keep that on top. Get in. Bop, bop. Alright. Decent start here, but opponent's got 3 lands now, a bunch of cards in hand. One of them's a get 2 Lava Runner. Plenty of action, I'm sure, so we'll see what happens. Bloodletter. Super popular card in this meta. So we will Mountain. Now, the idea here is, do we Lava Runner, get in, skewer? Let's try that instead of just weird. Alright, so bap, bap. 2 attackers. Opponent does block. Alright, so we lose a Lava Runner. And it's like at this point I don't want to skewer. I'm fine with that exchange as it is. I don't want to waste a skewer. Alright, so they're going to shock our Lava Runner, try to get things back to neutral here. They don't have any red sources. Alright, Burglar Rat, we're going to have to discard a weird. Or do we? Yeah, I think we do. I think we do. Try to go off 1 here. Alright, so we got Spellgorger, or we got Opt. Just thinking about playing Spellgorger. But is that the right call? Is it? Is that correct? I don't think I want to skewer this Burglar Rat. I probably want to say go after I play Spellgorger. Yeah, I think that's the right. Yeah, that's probably right. No protection for this Gorger, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd like to have Opt online, but lands aren't looking great. Yep, Shock. There it is. Alright, so we're in actual trouble now, but opponent's still down on lands too, so this is a fun game. Alright, so we'll Sky Theater Strix. And attack. I might should have done that last turn, see if the opponent trades his Burglar Rat. I was thinking about like trying to get more Callous Dismissals, making this a little bit bigger, but I'll go ahead, reset back to neutral. We're up on board at this point. Opponent has drawn all of the shocks in their deck, but that's okay. We got Burning Prophet with protection from a 3 toughness removal spell, 3 damage. So let's go. Burning Prophet also blocks this Lava Runner if they ever play again, so that's cool. But we have not seen a lot of what our opponent is actually doing in this deck. Alright, Divest. You get nothing. That's why you don't play Divest. Although Standard Pauper is the format for Divest. I'll say that. So opponent blows a card there. I wonder if they'll just say Lava Runner. That is 100% what they do. Alright, we got a Greeting. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I think that's right. Do I want this land anymore? Right? Huh. No. No. Take the Greeting, though. We will get in. Cast this Opt. Take the Greeting. There's a Greeting on top, which is, of course, right? Let's take it. Alright, so opponent at 12 here. 4 cards in hand, 3 lands. They're just as stuck on lands as we are. Skewer the critics on this Burning Prophet. I might should have saved it. Okay, so we'll Island, say go. Now we're going to start drawing all our lands. that's how it works. Come on. Biroko Nakni. Is that how you say your name? They're going to divest. I would have played a creature if I had it last turn, buddy. But that's okay. That's okay. You gotta use them sometime. I understand. I mean, they know what's in our hand. Anyway, maybe they've... who knows. Let's see what they do here on 2 mana. Nothing. Okay. So we'll say next, and we'll say go. Man. But we'll also say go. What are all of these cards in your hand, opponent? It's like I'm thinking about unloading, but it's probably not worth it. Opponent has 5 cards. Did you finally get this other land? I wonder if our opponent just has a grip full of very expensive cards. That's probably what's going on here, right? Let's Opt. Whole main phase Opt and Izzet spells. That's not great. Opponent has a response, maybe. Okay, we got a weird. And nothing to protect it with. I don't like that. Microphone keeps trying to fall over. I also don't like that. I don't know why you won't just stay in the same place. There we go. Okay, so I say, like, how many divests are you playing? You're playing 4 divests? So, I'm going to take a chance. Do I make them have Divest here, or do I make them have the removal spell? That's a tough one. I think it's less likely they have Divest, but maybe they have, like, Toll of the Invasion? They would have cast that, though, right? Just to get the amass off of it. Oh, let's see if we regret this, boys and girls. You can do it. In turn. Oh, let's see if that play is Champa. Sky Marcher. Okay, we're good. We're good here. Giant's Greeting, the Bloodletter. We get a mountain. Did kind of want that. Alright. So, mountain. Spellgurger. In the turn. Really don't want a Jaya's Greeting right now. I really fear that. Maybe like an Obnixilus's Cruelty or something. Like all of this would be very bad. There it is. Yep. All right. Pass it up. Pass it up. Huh. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go ham. Opponent at 6 now, which is a lowish life total. They finally got another land. Oh, goodness. The game was just waiting on us to do that. They're going to Shadow Fuse, we discard. Alright, so Burning Prophet. Naked Burning Prophet, no cards in hand. Do as thou wilt, opponent. I don't know if they're going to Cruelty again. They get it over. They have a spell. They have the removal spell, I think. Oh, they don't. Okay, Fanatical Firebrand. Unless they have Shock, Fanatical Firebrand. Yeah, okay. That makes a little more sense. So I guess we 2-for-1 them, but they still have 3 cards in their hand, and we are just drawing lands. We're going to try and get them to burn a removal spell, or a discard spell here. Swamp. Big money. Spewer. That they probably don't want to activate. Huh. Dismissal, huh? Well, I don't want it to get, like, Shadow Fuged next turn. Didn't know until just recently that they even had that card in their deck. But, well, we'll do it. Spewer. Really interesting thing our opponent's playing here. Footlight Fiend. Okay. Shivan Fire. Shivan Fire. Okay. So we'll say go here. Let the opponent rebuild. They got their 6th land. Now they're drawing all their land. Drop your 6-drop. Do it. I believe in you. You can do this. Ah, oh, okay. So let's opt. Sky Theater Strix. That is 100% what we want. Comes down, screeches, and then we say go. Nope. Spacebar. Alright, opponent. The thing is, I still believe in you, Barocco. Barocco Nacne. Buricon Acne. That's gotta be it, right? Active Treason. On our Sky Theater Strix. Are you going to, like, sack it somehow? That'd be really sweet. And Active Treason. Okay, that's cool. We'll Shivan Fire the Footlight Fiend. I'll still take a point, but whatever. Wonder if they'll go ahead and kill the Amass guy. Maybe. We'll take even less damage. It's not like it matters. 14 is fairly comfortable with when the opponent has no cards in hand. And like they're unable to activate Spear Spewer, so. Yeah, each player. Just making sure. Fiend. You are going to kill the Amass token. Huh? It'd be the smartest play. Yeah, let's do it. Alright. So we're down to 12. It's our turn. We did not draw a spell. Would have been really nice to draw a spell. Opponent's looking through our graveyard. See it down here. Trying to see what all we do and do not have access to any longer. Taking their time, doing some thinking, but that's okay. That's alright. This has actually been a pretty cool game so far. Let's see. Get in. Take him down to 5. Eventually. Oh, are you doing the thing? Don't do the thing. Baroque on Acne. Come on, buddy. Just take it. And then leave these cards in my hand. Well, opponent drops the land, says go, I would imagine. Yep. We draw another freaking land. Garbage. Alright, so we just gonna get in. And they scoop. They scoop it up. Good game. Good game, though, Bjorkon Acne. Alright, one more standard Pauper deck to bring to you, and this is my favorite one. Saved it till the end. This is the deck I've had the most success with over the last few days, and I've been playing with it probably more than any other deck. Maybe this or Grixis, but I've really started to love this deck. This is Esper Midrange. And you might assume it's like an Esper Ill-Gotten Inheritance deck, but it's not. I specifically didn't want to do 2 Ill-Gotten Inheritance decks. So instead, what we've done here is we're playing like value creatures like Aven Eternal, Grasping Thrall, old Basilica Thrall Haunt. This is the Pauper Basilica Bell Haunt in a lot of ways, but it has evasion, and that's really, really good. Basilica Thrall Haunt is awesome. Old Robert Throller, Bill Thrallman. It's a great card in Pauper right now, and one of the best reasons to add white. But we've also got Blessed Light in white, and this not only exiles creatures for 5 at instant speed, which is a good rate in Pauper, but it also exiles target Ill-Gotten Inheritance, and that is really, really good. Blessed Light is fantastic in this Pauper meta. Aside from that, though, Tidebearer Giant, just a big, dumb creature that also draws us a card when it comes into play. That's really important, but just a big, stupid guy. And once we clear the board out, which is pretty much all we're doing in this deck, aside from playing these dumb mid-range value creatures, then this just wins the game a lot. There's also Skymarch Bloodletter, you know, a couple of flyers here in the 3-drop slot, flyer in the 5-drop slot. So we're not playing a bunch of creatures, but the ones we are very, mostly very evasive, and one is quite big. Aside from that, we got Tammy's Epiphany to get more, card advantage when we need it, and the rest, besides Burglar Rat, another value creature, it's just removal, dead weight. All the best removal, really. Deadweight, Moment of Craving, Luminous Bonds, Obnixilis' Cruelty. This is a 4-of split, 3-1 split between Luminous Bonds and Obnixilis' Cruelty. And then again, Blessed Light. So just really premium removal and good value creatures. And we're trying to win the game the way a mid-range deck wins the game. So let's go ahead and show it off. Alright, we're up against Daydream Sky for game 1. And even though this hand could be a little bit better, I'm going to trust it. I'm going to trust the heart of the cards here and go with it. Opponent leads on Mountain, but not to worry. They don't do anything with it. We're going to play Evolving Wilds and say go. And turn. Do it. Alright. So, the question is, do we search up a black source so we can get Burglar Rat or Moment of Craving if we draw planes or, a basic? Or do we search up a white source to go ahead and make sure that we get a white source this game? But we don't have any white cards in our hand, so I think we'll probably just go ahead and get the black source, hoping to draw a basic land on this turn. We did, and we actually got the white source we needed, so that's beautiful. In the meantime, our opponent got Goblin Instigator, which is a pretty cool start for them. We'll go Burglar Rat. We're up against Black Red again. Appears to be very popular today. I played against it a couple of times in the past, but Not as much as I have just in these videos I've done today. Opponent really thinking about the discard here, which is, I guess, good news or bad news for us. All right, they discard Vicious Offering, which is pretty sweet. That could take out the 4/5 that we're playing. All right. Opponent on 3 lands, 4 cards. Seems like there's probably a lot they could do with this. We'll get the sequencing down. Opponent with Infernal Scarring, neat. Probably just go ahead and deal with this, right? Yeah. Still a 1-for-1. Yeah, they get to draw the card, but they had to play Scarring in the first place, so it's okay. Alright, so Submerged Boneyard, say go. Let's see what's up. Opponent, 4th land. Here comes Infectious Horror. Not the first time I've seen this card. Pass it up. We'll take that point. We'll get enormous mana value with a Moment of Craving. And go back up to our starting life total. So that's pretty dope. Thanks for being annoying, Esper. Alright, so Skymarch Bloodletter. Play that. Opponent on 4 cards. Drops the land. 5 mana now. Active Treason. Which is fine. That's totally fine. Bop bop. We're at 18. We will just, let's see, swing in. See if we get shocked here. Yep, okay. So just Bloodletter again. We're at 19, they're at 16. They go. They're at 3 cards. Drops the land. 6 mana open. Says go. Okay, so that's very good for us. It looks like we might have this game here. Swing away. We're going to Epiphany. And try to just kind of put the game away, I guess. Alright, so yeah. Yeah, that's right. We'll do that. Okay. Say go. Opponent at 12, we're at 19, drops the land. They're on 2 cards in their hand. Here comes a Barrier of Bones. They will Surveil. It's an aggro deck with an anti-aggro piece. They're going to get in for 1. Alright, so let's play the Swamp. Get in. Put him at 8. Play Grasping Thrall. Fresh Prince of Thrall Air. Get him to 6. And see how easy this was? I mean, it was kind of a rough game for opponent. It looks like they drew all their lands, you know. But honestly, I feel like we performed really well this game. And we'll see if it's over. It might not be over. You just never know. Opponent Lava Runners. The game appears to be over. Sorry. And Daydream's going to get in for 3 here. Do it. Like, I want to good game them, but I think they'll take it the wrong way. But I don't mean it the wrong way. So let's Forsaken Sanctuary and get in. I mean, I'll good game them now. And then next. Bop, bop, bop. Good game. Good game, Daydream. We're back in here against, I forgot your name, but it's awesome. United Might, that's what it is. And I'm not loving this opener, but we do have some plays, so we'll take it. See where we go from there. It's going to be an adventure. Opponent leads on island. We get a land, so that's cool. We'll go with Sanctuary. Oh, I should have gone River, yeah. That would have been the better play. Sky Theater coming down. We get Evolving Wilds. We'll play. Go ahead and dead weight Sky Theater. Forest. Okay, Iron Shell. Getting him a 2/2. Now this turn... Drop Wilds. Say go. Alright, so opponent on 4 cards, 3 mana, drops the land. Muse Drake. Resolve. Do it. Gonna get in with old Ironsides, I would imagine. Eventually. Oh, they don't. Okay. That's cool too, I guess. We're gonna do that one way or the other, so I guess it doesn't matter. Our turn. Alright. Oh, it didn't Wilds! Oh, boy! I was so taken aback they didn't attack. Good play, opponent. Jeez. Alright, so still want a Bloodletter this turn, I think, so let's do that. Wow. Oh, this is reality. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like I'm at the Grand Prix. Pollen Bride Druid. Probably going to put a counter on that. Yeah, sure does. Tench's plan. Jeez, that's cool. Muse Drake going to start doing damage. We're going to let him get in for 3. We're at our starting life total now. Alright, so... Let's go ahead and play Boneyard. Yeah, let's play Aven Eternal. No attacks. I cannot believe I missed that Wilds trigger. It's just crazy. United Might got in my head. This is a cool card. I thought about playing a deck just built around this, like blue or blue-green Infect. That's what they're doing. Or Infect. What's wrong with me? Proliferate. I'm thinking a lot about the modern Infect deck recently. That's probably what did it to me. Opponent does not attack. We can double Burglar Rat this turn. I don't know why they didn't attack. Burglar Rat again. They dropped Pollen Bright Druid the first time. What are they going to drop this time? They're going Stony Strength. Your Guild Pact Informant. And, we will no attacks. Yeah. That's the way to go. Man. In my own mind, I will never live that down. Cobbled Wings. Given things flying and such. Equips it to Druid. Sweet. Alright. So I just try to amass as big as I can. I guess I can't double Aven Eternal, so I'll Grasping Thrall this turn. Hoping to double Aven Eternal on an upcoming turn here. Hopefully next turn. No attacks. Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly how that ish is going to go down. Alright, so no attacks. Just got to wait on a removal spell, really. This Muse Drake. Aven Eternal. Aven Eternal. Opponent playing a deck with probably no removal to speak of. Drops the land, says go. We'll do the same. We're in a standoff. I'm going to attack with everything here. There you go. And we should be able to just win next turn. Iron Shell. Next. Everybody get in. Everybody clap your hands. Even Eternal. Opponent at 2. We appeared to have, we seem to have pushed through here. Sky Theater. We'll good game them as they have good gamed us. Play the Tithe Bearer just for fun, and they will skip. Alright, good game though, United Might. It was. I'm never going to live down that Evolving Wilds miscue, but we did it, one way or the other. Alright, well that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the tomfoolery of this video. I can't believe I missed that Evolving Wilds. Plus, you know, at least one other misplay that I can think of, but still, good games this time around. I think I played a lot better than I did during Mono Red Dragons. I will never live that down, but still, good games, good gameplay, good opponents this time around, really cool decks, and that's what I like about Pauper, is that there's no established meta, no one's doing, you know, the same thing, so, like, everyone has these different decks, and although you might see the same basic things, you know, green-white tokens, green-black saplings, you know, mono-red aggro, or red-blue spells of some kind, like, there are definitely archetypes, but everyone's got their decks built differently. And I really, really like that. And it's an equalizer, you know? It's not just a thing where, like, whoever has the most money to spend on cards and get wild cards wins. It's just this, it's an equalizer, again, and I love that. And Standard Pauper has been very well engineered for what it's worth. Good job, Wizards and the play design team, on making one of the best Standard Pauper formats in a long time. And I play Standard Pauper. I make this video every, you know, format, so I know a lot about Standard Pauper. And this is like a really fun format to play with a lot of different options and a lot of real decks. It's kind of deep, so I've really enjoyed it. It feels like the old Magic, you know, like I know that's such a sugary, saccharine thing to say, but it feels like playing Magic when I was like 14. You know, and like nobody had great cards. You know, we're just trying to build the best decks we could with what we had, and that's what Pauper is all about. So I really enjoyed myself today, and with the Pauper event. It's going to end relatively soon here, but just because the event's over, remember, you can play these decks. You know, I'm going to leave links in the description to all of these on TCG Player. So if you want to get these together for a play group or something like that, they're super cheap. They're all like $5 a piece to build. So give these things a shot. They're awesome decks, super fun to play, in case you couldn't tell. And in the case of some of these, can actually do some real work at like the F&M level. So give this thing a shot. Give all of these a shot. And I guess I'll catch you cats later. I mean, do all the other stuff, like share, subscribe, comment, do the things. You know, want to know where else I misplay that I maybe didn't see here. But yeah, just get back at me with all that in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for the notification. Does anybody tell you to share anymore? Do it though. Just this once, share for me. See how it affects the metrics. And yeah, hit up the Patreon if you want to support content like this. So yeah, I guess I'm done. I'll catch you cats later. I'm Dev from the Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.